Hi, welcome to this first lesson in the polynomials topic at higher. What we'll do is we'll just do a very quick lesson just to introduce you to the topic and give you a couple of skills that you can use to set you up for the rest of the topic. So what we're going to look at in this video is being able to define and identify, define a polynomial and identify the degree of it, and then also use synthetic division to evaluate polynomials as well. And that thing there is a new method that you're going to use all the way through this topic. So very useful to pick up here. Now, you already work with polynomials in some way, shape, or form. The one you'll see most often is the quadratics, which is a form of polynomials. Essentially, a polynomial is any function. There's a big list of x squareds, x cubes, x to the power 4, so on, so on, so on. So, for example, here we have the polynomial 3x to the power 5 plus 7x squared minus 7. That is a polynomial, as is this one here at the bottom. Now, the degree of a polynomial is the value of the highest power. For example, this one here, that's 3x to the power 4 minus 7x squared plus 5x plus 7. That polynomial has degree 4 because the biggest power is a 4. Same with this one here, polynomial here, the biggest power is a 5. So the order of, or the degree of that polynomial is 5. Now, you already know how to evaluate polynomials. We've got one here. Change the thickness of my pen. You've got f of 3, which for this one here, f of 3, we already know how to deal with this from National 5, is when you substitute in 3 instead of all your x's, and you evaluate to see what you get. Okay, so 3 will go in everywhere you see an x, and then you will evaluate that function. Now, when you evaluate that there, it gives you the answer 217. Now, we're going to look at a new way of evaluating functions, one that's going to prove more useful for us when we're starting to look at polynomials in more depth. And that way is something called synthetic division. Now, with synthetic division, you're going to have to excuse my neatness again, is going to use a big L. Now, along the top of that L, we're going to do 3, minus 2, 1, 7, and minus 2. And those numbers come from the coefficients of each order or each degree of your polynomial. So x to the power 4 is 3, x cubed is minus 2, they've got 1x squared, you've got 7x's, and you get minus 2 at the end. Now they're going to go along the top there. The number you are evaluating, in this case f of 3, is going to go at the left hand side. And what you're going to do is you're going to add down and times up at every step. So the first number is a 3, so we're just going to add down to bring that down to the bottom. When we times up, we're going to multiply by this number here. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. 7 times 3 is 21. 1 add 21 is 22. 3 times 22 is 66. 7 add 63 is 73. 3 times 73 is 219. And then minus 2 add 219 is 217, which you'll notice is exactly the same as over here. Okay, now if we look at that again, just go through that again. We add down, so 3 add nothing here is going to give you 3, and then we times by 3 going up. Add down, and then times by 3 coming up. Add going down, times by 3. Add going down, times by 3, and then add going down at the end. And that will give you the same value as evaluating the function would. Okay, it's a nice, easy way to do it, particularly if you've got loads and loads of powers. You're just always doing nice, easy adds and times, and you can just work your way through it. Okay, so this is going to be, and you don't need to write all this red every time you're doing it, but it will be something that maybe you'd like to do the first couple of times, but you're going to do this a lot and you'll get used to it very quickly. Okay, another wee example. Okay, looking at g of x here, we're looking for g, evaluating g to the power, sorry, rubbish, just evaluating g of 1. So it's 2 times 1 to the power 4 minus 3 times 1 cubed plus 1 minus 1. Okay, which will give you a value of negative 1. Okay, now if we're doing that with synthetic division again, then we're going to set up our big L, and along we're going to put our powers of x that we've got. So x to the power 4, we have 2x to the power 4s. X to the power 3s, well, we've got minus 3 of them. Now this is the trick here that people like to make a mistake. We have no x squareds here, so in our synthetic division we do have to put a 0, so we're not missing our step. We have 1x to the power 1, and then we've got a negative 1 at the end as well. The thing we're evaluating is 1, so that's going to go on the left hand side. And then we add down, so 2 times by 1 is 2. Minus 3 add 2 is minus 1, times by 1 is just minus 1. 0 add minus 1 is minus 1. Minus 1 times 1 is just minus 1. Add down gives us 0. 0 times 1 is just 0. And add down gives us minus 1 as well. So that matches up here. So it's an alternative method to use to evaluate functions, but we will end up using it for a lot more than that. Now, what we want this video to be is just a quick introduction to polynomials, so you can see what they are, understand the term, the degree of the polynomial, and also be able to use synthetic division to evaluate that. Okay, and we'll get loads more practice with that as we do. Okay, thank you.